So I am Jamie, and this is my story.
So, Jamie, give us a wee introduction to who you are and your background with exercise.
I think I started out with you when we were in Glasgow. I think we started going to the gym quite regularly. I think we actually went every day of the week. And then we decided to get some online coaching from professionals, shall we call them.
Yep.
And it just took off from there.
Yep. How, you can do your sit, How different is your life since being consistent with your training?
I mean, when we started going to the gym together, I would never go by myself. I never had that sort of confidence in walking onto a gym floor. But over time, you start lifting heavier, you start looking better, you start feeling it in yourself, and you do build a self-confidence. And now it's probably the majority of the time I work out by myself.
How does your life look differently though, is what I'm meaning?
I mean, it's quite easy to just walk in and do some exercises. But then if you look at the bigger picture, it's not only just exercises you're doing, it's you start eating better, you start feeling better, you start looking at healthier options of foods. You don't go out and grab quick.
I thought we were going to stop there.
Oh,
you don't go out.
I know.
Stop there.
You're more conscious of what's actually better for you. You'll move more, you'll eat healthier, just feeling better in yourself.
And
I mean, before that, I wasn't a meat eater. I just ate vegetables, and I was a chubby vegetarian, shall we say. Like, I didn't really do any movement. I just thought, you'd think you just eating veg, you'll become sort of healthier, but it was just empty carbs I was constantly consuming.
Yeah.
Not thinking of, I didn't actually know about like proteins and essential fats and stuff like that, but you do start to gain a knowledge about all sorts of things. When you go inside that environment, you'll also start speaking to other people, start hearing their stories, start getting better.
So in summary, you would say that the contrast between Jamie who didn't get to the gym and Jamie who consistently goes to the gym now is night and day.
Yeah, definitely.
How do you stay motivated with your shift pattern working on and offshore? Because you train consistently. Would you admit that training's now a part of your life?
I mean, working 3 weeks away at sea, there is literally nothing to do. So you've got a choice of going to the gym and doing something, getting a benefit out of it, or sit and watch TV. I mean, I work in a pretty male-dominant environment, and looking around, there is quite a huge amount of, I'm not going to say obesity, but there is definitely people that are lacking in the fitness department.
Yep.
And whenever I go to the gym, I usually go to the gym after shift. It's dead. There's nobody ever there, and I don't understand why that is. I mean, everybody knows the feeling you do get after you come back from the gym. It's like if you could bottle that feeling up, I think everybody would get a benefit from it.
Make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route.
Give us a wee insight into your leg tattoos.
My leg tattoos, which one?
And insight
Tell me which one, I'll give you a cool story.
Keep it Lord of the Rings based.
Say again?
Keep it Lord of the Rings based.
Well, they all are, but each one has got a really cool story behind it.
What was the reasoning behind hiring out the cinema?
Well, I think my entire personality is Lord of the Rings, and I think everybody knows that. but I never actually became a fan of the series until the second movie came out on DVD. And then I think it was The Battle by Helm's Deep that I just became obsessed about. Just watched it constantly and constantly and constantly. And the only movie I ever got to see in the cinema was Return of the King. And obviously been a fan of that for the past 20 years. And I love the cinema. I think that between the cinema and the gym is the only place that you can actually close outside from the rest of the world. Like, everyone knows they had to quit in the gym, that in the cinema you never go on your phone. Like, that's just an unwritten rule that everybody knows about. Like, there's no distractions. It's the same as in the gym. You come in, you've got your exercises planned out, put your headphones in, you put your music on, and you just shut out from everyone.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I enjoy the cinema so much.
What is the connection between the speech that you gave and the film and like the prevalent mental health movement right now as well? So you gave a speech at one of the end of the films where you just thanked everyone for coming, and then you spoke about a friendship that was made between Gimli and Legolas, and you then made that.
I did. Every viewing we had, we put money into a jar, and we gave that to a charity. And one of the lines in The Two Towers is, "No father should have to bury their own child." And I had a friend that was there from when I worked offshore, and he previously buried his child a few weeks beforehand. So we gave that money to one of his chosen charities to support mental health.
Mm-hmm. So what was it at the end of the? Was it the first one, the second one, or the third viewing you did? I wasn't at the third one, was I?
No.
So was it at the end of the first one or end of the second one where you spoke about? Don't know, but you got quite teary.
The third one, it was the line between Legolas and Gimli about side by side with a friend.
Yeah.
He says, "No, I never thought I'd die fighting side by side with an elf," and Legolas replies, "What about side by side with a friend?"
Yeah.
Then it's just that message of, like, it doesn't matter where you come from, what your differences are, what race you are, what colour you are, what sexuality you are. Like, people are so quick to put labels on things. It's like, why can't you just be a friend?
So you are training consistently now, which is good, but there have been periods of your life where you've had coaches.
Yes.
You're currently with a coach. Why?
I think it's the whole package you get with it. Like, obviously, you get stuff that's tailored to you. Obviously, the boy I work with is called Aaron. I've asked him, well, I've told him like what I want to look like, what I want to be like. Like, I went through a period of wanting to lose weight just before your wedding, and we consistently stuck with me for 6 weeks, trimming down. So everything's tailored to everybody's specific needs. But I think the best part of having one is having somebody on your side, like having somebody wanting the best for you as well. Like, it's nice to have, like, sort of having a cheerleader at the side, shouting you on, wanting the best for you.
It's funny you should say that, because when you think about society now, and you think about sharing your ideas and your goals with your peers, no one really has the same amount of support for you like a coach would. Like, you're bang on, like, so not to say that everyone's friends are dickheads, but you're like, oh, I really want to trim up. Most people are just too nice. Like, no, you don't. You're looking great. You're no, don't be silly. You're not fat. You're not overweight. You're looking good. Yeah. And then you hire a coach, and you're like, hey, I'm feeling fat and overweight. Want to get in better shape? Want to be more muscular? And he's like, I agree. You are a bit overweight. You are a wee bit out of shape. I want you to look a bit more muscular as well, and I'm rooting for you. Like, we need friends like that. We need partners like that. We need family members like that. But instead, we have to go off and spend 250 quid a month or whatever, get someone.
It's having that as well. Like, if you're going to be paying X amount, like, you're wanting to get the most out of that as well. Like, you're going to put everything you've got into getting to the end of your own goal.
Yeah.
So it's having, I cringe at this word, but it's having that accountability at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
But it is having that extra help, having that coach.
Yep.
So gents, don't be afraid to ask for help now and again.
Right, so my experience, I work with a lot of doctors, nurses, these kind of things, like shift workers. You are a shift worker, in a sense. And I know from previous experience that these people that work shifts really struggle to get into a good routine with everything, not just their training, like everything. So what kind of advice do you have from someone that has that kind of 3 on 3 off kind of shift pattern? How do you adapt to going back on shore and coming back offshore, and how do you do that quickly?
If you can plan your week ahead as well, if you know what shifts you're going to be working, you can always set out a time for when you can do what you can do. Like when I'm offshore, I will probably have a maximum 40 minutes, a 40-minute workout. But when I'm at home, I'll be in here for maybe an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, depends who I'm speaking to. But it's doing what you can do, like consistent, but it's minimal, but it's also keeping it going, it's keeping it ticking over.
So your advice is to plan your week ahead.
Plan your week ahead, do what you can do, do what you can do, don't be too hard on yourself, don't work yourself up too much about it. As long as you are getting in and you're doing something, I think that's the key point. Like you don't have to be in here for, what? Did you get excited?
No.
Ah.
I was referring to him, like that's your thing.
What?
As soon as you're back, you just like go dog walks. You just instantly get into a routine.
It definitely helps.
So just little things like that, just having a routine to get back into.
It's like
making sure you stick to it.
First day back, I'll always meet up with my sister. We'll go out for our morning walks. I'll have my breakfast before I leave. I'll have my second breakfast before the gym. And then I'll be in here pretty much at the same time every day. I know where my week's going to be.
So plan ahead, have a routine, no pressure on yourself, just do what you can.
Do what you can.
Yep. But it's making sure that you stick to that routine.
Stick to that routine. Make sure it's a quality routine.
Yeah.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah. Perfect. Hammer curls. Still put it back neatly though. Riley Botch. Beep, 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 beep. Right. Final question. Looking at the camera. No, you don't have to look at the camera. What advice would you give people that are just generally struggling, general population, generally struggling, aren't necessarily looking after themselves, unaware of how to do it, like where to even begin, all these kind of things, like in and out the gym, training, not training, whatever it may be. I'm not trying to make it about this. I'm just talking about like what wise words would you give to that camera right now, anyone listening, to just like improve the quality of their life now?
If you focus on one thing first and make it great, I think start off small. Don't go in all guns blazing.
Yeah.
Just focus on one thing. Focus on going out a walk. Focus on start planning meals.
What about advice for someone that's like, I'm never going to go to the gym?
I was that person.
Well, there you go.
I think.
There you go. I like that.
There you go. I was that person. Like,
I'm never going to go to the
I
gym.
would never go to the gym. Yeah. Who goes to the gym? Then, look at me now. I think having somebody to go with as well. Having somebody you can, having that extra confidence going in, having that extra person give you the push you need. I mean, you don't have to get I wouldn't say, no offense, but you don't have to get a personal trainer to go in with you. Just have somebody that has a general knowledge of a gym environment. I mean, I've done it with a few people in work and stuff like that, and they've kind of taken it upon themselves to start going alone and stuff like that. But it's having somebody that can show you the ropes.
Yep. It's the catalyst, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think my final words would be like, I think everyone needs to demand better from themselves.
Yeah.
Like everyone in the world needs to demand better for themselves. And that could be just getting out and doing a walk, or meeting up with the friends that you've been putting off for so long, or just cut back on the takeaways each month, or whatever, like something small. Like everyone has an element of feeling shit that they are not aware of until they start acknowledging that they're maybe not living the best possible life. So if you're not currently walking, go out walking. You'll infinitely feel better.
Yeah. If you're
Little things like
eating shit all the time, you're going to
Try
feel
have
like
one
shit.
healthy meal. Yeah. If you are, it's all them things. So it's small actionable steps. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah.